Good morning. This is Vintage Shabby Goodness, and my name is Patty. And I just completed another Christmas video and thought I would share it. This is Oohlala's Vintage Treasures kit that I used. There was like 3 of them. I'll be using Pink Parfait Christmas, Posh Pink Christmas, and also Pink Parfait Christmas Gingerbread Lane Ephemera. So this is what I love. One of the things I love about Doreen's kits is that you can interchange with all of them, and they seem to go very well. I mean, they all match. So it just gives you more stuff to play with. And I think that's why my journals turn out so big. But here she is. You can see I put on this closure some pretty sparkly, give it a little pizzazz there. And then I use the gold on the spine. But this is a soft journal. Just used packaging to build her. Added this big old rose, some Christmas ephemera just from my stash. It's those little pink styrofoam balls. And then under the rose, I've added this burgundy and gold ribbon, just tied a bow. I added some dangles in there as a little Christmas ornament and a little package. And here's a couple more of those styrofoam balls. I did add some lace underneath it, and then I did add a doily, and then this rose gold ribbon that I had. It's a wired ribbon. Added some pink and cream flowers along the side, and down here is one of the ephemeras from the I believe it's from the Posh Pink digital. I'm not sure, but it will be from one of those ones that I had mentioned earlier that I'll be using of her kits. Then this is the bow with some bells. I made a little bell dingle. I like the bells on there. So, and I also made a dangle down here, Christmas bulb, a bell. This one doesn't ring. It rings a little bit, not very much. And then another one of the little gold ornaments. So, this is, I didn't do anything to the back, just left it alone. And there we go. So now we'll go inside and check that all out. Now I'll try real hard to keep this in frame. Making these big old journals, it's hard to keep them in frame. But I will try very hard. But I have layered some trim, some laces, you know, along the edges here. And like I said, I have this ruffle, this lace, and then this little lace here. Then the first pocket, it's this real pretty scalloped lace, 2-layered. I think it's just really pretty. And then I added another one of those little houses. It's got, I added the candy cane to it. I added some glue glitter in the windows to make it look like it's the light. The lights are on. And then I added a Santa and a sleigh up here on the roof. And then I made this tag. This is a storefront. I did add some glitter glue in these lanterns here. I added some Winkostella on these ornaments to make it sparkle a little bit. know if it's going to pick it up or not. But, some trim up here, some ruffle trim. I made a bow and then added a little snowman. And then I did sew around the edge. Then on this side is just, this is her digital. Her digitals are just so beautiful that you really don't need to do anything to it. I don't do much to it. Don't want to cover, I don't want to cover it all up. But I usually try to just leave those alone. And then I just added the bow ruffle to the side here. And then on this one, I did coffee dye the papers. So that's why it's a little vintage looking. I added some trim, vintage trim to the side here. A tag, or a pocket, and I added some pretty bling off of an old wedding dress and a candy cane. And then here's the little tag that's in the pocket. I added a grommet and then some sari silk. And then down here at the bottom, I added the little dangle balls. So I don't know what to call them for sure, but they're fun. So, and then next I added this vintage handkerchief. Then there's her snowflake page. And then this is one of her Victorian ladies. I just love them. They're so pretty. So this page, all I did was just do a collage. I added these flowers, this lace, this lady, a package that says peace and joy, and then a Christmas tree. I put back behind all of this. So it's just a collage. No tucks, no nothing. I thought it turned out kind of pretty. And then on this page, I added a sticker, and then one of her little sayings that says "Good Tidings" with some lace back behind it. And then on this side is a glassine bag, and it is glued down. I put this ribbon on there and glued it down. So, I mean, you can untie it if you want to. It's just, you don't need to, but I just collaged up the outside of this glassine bag, which the glassine bag is coffee dyed. Here I did a cutout of a snowflake, added one of her little sayings that says Happy Holidays. Just added a bouquet of flowers. This is a candy dish full of candy. Some sparkly trim along the edge. Then I added this, made this tag, and added this big ruffle here on the top. This is an applique, and then this is some of the ephemera. And this one says Making Memories, and I did add some cheesecloth behind this one. But it just, in this journal, I think I did a lot more collaging than what I have ever done. So it's just when you got so many pretty things to work with, you want to get it all in there. And then I added this trim, this ruffle trim along the edge. And then here I made this flower, had a little furry pom-pom applique there, so I added it along with some gold balls and another applique with some flowers on it. And so then I added this bow made out of chiffon and a red rose in the middle. And then I took one of the pages and just kind of tore it in half from corner to corner. And I distressed it and glued it down in this bottom left corner to make a tuck, to make a pocket. And then I made this tag using this paper from my stash and added Oohlala's, I believe this is the Pink Parfait Christmas. Added that on the top there and sewed it. I thought it turned out really pretty. And then this trim, ruffle trim on a blank piece of paper to journal on. And then here's another one of the, I think this is the Posh Pink Parfait Christmas kit. Pretty, pretty papers. And then I added some dangles down here at the bottom. And then on this side here, I made a hidden paper clip. So take this out, and it goes on both sides, like that. Well, if I can get it back on there, first time I've ever had problems. There we go. Yeah, it just seems like you turn this camera on and you just turn into all thumbs. And then I had this letter here. It's "'Twas the night before Christmas." So and just tuck that in there. And then I added this. I added a little applique to this other side of the paper clip. An applique down the center. It's pretty cool. And then this applique here, I did cut out the netting that was here so it wouldn't interfere with seeing this pretty lady here. I did add the sequins, the green, the red, and the gold sequins on here. It turned out really nice. And then on this side here, well, looks like I didn't get that put back in. But there we go. This is those bags that they go to the restaurants and they put your silverware in it. And all I did was just fold it up to make this pocket here, which I do have a couple of pieces of ephemera in there. This big boot and this cute little teddy bear that I just added a bow to the top. And then what I did on the outside of the bag is some embossing. So I just took some gold embossing powder and used that on the outside. I thought the trim here looked very, very nice with this. It's got the gold in it, the green, the pink. I thought it looked good. But then here's, you know, the second pocket where you've seen that tag there. And then we have a big long tag in the back. So you can get that by just gluing the edges. Instead of gluing the whole thing down, you just glue the left, the right, and the bottom. And then you have the little dingle balls down here at the bottom with vintage lace along the side. And then here is the train, the express train. And I didn't really do anything to this because I thought it was so cute. I did add some sequins. I don't know if you can see the sparkle or not. You can see it, and then I've got it up here also. So I just built a pocket out of this and a fold out. But here's the tag I made for it with another Choo Choo. And this is going to be the ephemera from the Pink Parfait Christmas Gingerbread Lane. So this is a really cute kit. And that just tucks right back in there. And I did leave the ruffles on the edge stick out more. Well, here we go. Just so it kind of fills it, you know, kind of fills it in. Lace is always pretty, I think. Then here you have your stagecoach. It just reminds me of Cinderella, but it's just so pretty. And anyway, I made a belly band on this side here. Let's see. And I tucked in this little card here, and I just glued the bottom of this. And this is from the Gingerbread Lane ephemera, and just left it open to make a tuck out of it. And then here's a dress form. That was very pretty. And it just tucks right back in here. I did put some lace down at the bottom, along with a little bit of bling here, some pearls and rhinestones with a couple of little red rosebuds. And then here I added an applique over here to the left. A lot of journaling. And this is what I put my dangles on. This is the center of the book. And this pocket over here is nothing but collage. I just cut out all these different flowers here and just kind of glued them all together and glued a bow on top. And then I decorated them with these, excuse me, having a hard time talking. I made these little rosebuds here and added them to this little saying that says "Joy to the World," with some cheesecloth behind it. And then the tag, I did some collaging again, and all this is going to be from the Gingerbread Lane ephemera kit. It's got your gingerbread man, a sleigh, the dress form, add the candy cane, and this bow. And I did do the Wink of Stella on this bow to give it some sparkle. And then I added a little acrylic flower there. And then you can journal on the back. Then over here, I added some vintage lace up here at the top and the bottom. I added these two circles here to make a inner office envelope closure type thing, and some baker's twine. And you fold that down, you fold that up, and there's some pockets that I added, along with I put in a Christmas tree. And here is two of the ladies. Added some vintage trim up there at the top. And then you just wrap this around the circles. I'm just kind of fiddling around with this. Okay, I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on it. And some more journaling paper. And this here is a page edger. You just take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and you'll glue it to the edge of the paper. And you got it showing on both sides here. And I didn't put anything in this one, but it makes a little tuck. I did put, I blew up one of the ladies and put her, and added a little bling, part of an applique to her hair. But yeah, I just took some different pieces of ephemera from the two kits and added them, added some trim, some bling here. Then I made this poinsettia here, added the tag that says Jingle Bells. And then here is a wreath that I added with a bow, and I did Winkostella this wreath. There's the Christmas tree with a little piece of Christmas trim, the boot, and then I hid another poinsettia there back behind the bow, along with some drop pearls and a pink acrylic rose. And then I just added the vintage trim here along the side. And this is the other half of that one that we did up here. You know, I had this half that I put down here at the bottom and put the other half up here at the top, added some trim to it. And then the card, I added some bells along with the snowman. This is a doily I cut in half and added to the top. I just put a piece of lace, you know, for the background. And then this applique, and then this porcelain or acrylic flower that has the glitter on it. And down here at the bottom it has the little pink dangles. They're cute. And then journal on the back. And that just, you know, these kind of pockets, they can expand, and like that you can fit just almost anything in it. Not quite, but and then this is the digital that all I did was add some trim along the side here. And then this here is a Z-fold that I kind of offset. You know, it's not lined up or anything. I didn't want to, but I did add, it says warm hugs with a little bit of trim behind it. One of those beautiful ladies, some vintage lace back behind it. And this is the pull, and you pull it out. You've got all this to journal on. So then I added a pocket and just added some pieces of the ephemeras. Here's the other bear. And another boot. And then you could fold it open this way, and you can still journal on this here. And here's where I offset, so I added this. There's just a little tuck spot there, so I took this piece of paper and had to fold it to fit it in there with this lace. I just think it's so pretty. It's two different kinds there that I just added. But again, I just put it in there just far enough to where the lace shows. And here's a ruffle that I made, along with some more of that pink dangle balls. And then this is a storefront. It's got all the Christmas packages and the snow globe, all the beautiful flowers. And I just added a bow to it. And then you have this tag that tucks inside. Another little collage. It just tucks right in there, just like that. And on the other side is the other part of another storefront. Then I made this ruffle here and added this beautiful lady. And then I made a pocket out of her and another collage. I just collaged on some lace on this one. This is a skate, another dress form. Then I had this ribbon that's blinged up, so I glued that on there. A couple of pieces from different, you know, the Posh Pink and the Pink Parfait kits. And of course these are from the Gingerbread Lane ephemera kit. Just tucked right in there. Then on the back side I added a pocket with this little tag in it and some sari silk. there's the other half of that handkerchief. And here's a ruffle that's got the pearls on it. And then another page, you know, I just left it alone. And then the very back, this is the last one, is that, you know, double ruffled lace that I added just to make a pocket out of it. I made this flower, added a little bit more bling here in the corner. And then I had this nice big little book here tucked in there, and I added this lace on it to make a belly band. So this is the tag that goes in it, and I did put some stickles on this to sparkle it up, and added this trim that has some pink ribbon twined through it. And then the back cover. Isn't it pretty? I think it's so pretty. But I did add some snowflakes. I cut out some snowflakes and added some of the glitter glue to it, along with this little pink ribbon. Then I added this trim along the outside. You can open it up. There's this big old ruffle in here. I added 2 pockets. I added some pearls on these flowers, along with those flowers there. There's a couple of tags that I added into that pocket. And then here's another tag with some sparkle ribbon there. And then that's it. So we've reached the end. Like I said, she's another big journal. Turned out pretty thick. And again, the back, I didn't do anything to. I thought it looked just pretty, just the way it is. And then added the gold down the spine. So I'm really pleased how she turned out. I really like it. And you can't go wrong with Oohlala Vintage Treasures digitals. They're hard to choose from because they're so beautiful. But you do need to go over and check it out. It's just amazing. She does such beautiful work. And I will have all that listed down below. It's her Etsy, and she has a YouTube channel. She's got a lot of neat ideas. So I will leave all that information in the description area. This journal is going to be up for sale, and I will leave the information on this in the description area also. So that's it. I'll leave you with that, and I hope you all have a good day, and I hope the weather is holding out for you. We're expecting storms here, so we need the rain, so that it's okay. But anyway, I will sign off, and you all have a good day, and I hope you come back. Click on the subscribe button if you would. Leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. So, all right. Have a good day. Bye.